Hello and welcome back. In the last class, we talked about the importance of connection and how attachment develops with our children, how it developed in us. We imagined what security felt like and what we could accomplish if that feeling was the norm. When we feel safe and secure, there's really nothing we can't do. It's like an inner peace that allows you to live fully, being the person you truly want to be, authentically. Living in this state of mind where fear, anxiety, worries, and all the shoulds and have-tos aren't the things controlling your life anymore. When you feel comfortable enough to express your needs and feelings, to act in the ways you want to, and to follow your dreams, goals, and values, that is where you are living a life you love to live. You know, being a parent is challenging, at times exhausting and overwhelming. But it doesn't have to be a nightmare. It doesn't have to be something you dread or just put up with. It doesn't have to be the thing that is keeping you from the rest of your life. It doesn't have to be something that makes you feel shame or like you're not good enough. It doesn't have to constantly feel hard. Parenting can feel good. You can have really deep and meaningful relationships with your kids. You can parent in a way that energizes you and brings you joy. Your kids can learn in a way that empowers them to grow. You can do the things that are important to you. And you can instill those values in your kids as well. You can be a team, working together to explore your world and discover new things, encouraging each other as you all figure out how to live, behave, and believe. You and your family, your partner, your kids can really enjoy your life. You can go the places you want to go, teach the things you want to teach, learn the things you want to learn, and do the things that you want to do. As parents, it can be so easy to live a reactive life, a life where we are just barely getting by, waiting to see what happens and figuring out where to go from there. With sleepless nights and all these other people who need things from us every day, we get caught up in the demands and the have-to-dos, and we forget what we're doing here in the first place. We forget what really matters. We forget to take care of ourselves, to ask for help, to find ways to get what we need. We forget the power we have within us. And then life overtakes us. But you did not have to live that way. Sure, we all have bad days, rough moments, and really challenging things that happen in our lives. And in the midst of that, you can still live a life that is intentional, purposeful, meaningful, a life that makes you feel alive. So today I want to ask you, what makes you happy? What do you get excited about? Let's do this together right now. Get out your worksheet titled Finding Joy. And just start writing everything you can think of that brings you joy, makes you feel energized, and that you just love. Big things, little things, everyday things, once-in-a-lifetime things. What do you do that excites and empowers you? And not just your actions and activities. Think about the feelings you have. Maybe feeling connected brings you energy. Maybe thankfulness makes you happy. Maybe appreciation of what you see, hear, touch, or taste is revitalizing for you. Take the time to list everything that comes to mind. These are the things you want more of in your life. The things that make life worth living. The things that give you joy. Now you might think, I can't just do what makes me happy. What about all these other things in my life? I can't just forget about it and ignore them. Okay, well, let's look at those other things. Now that you've listed the things that sustain and motivate you, write down the opposite. What drains you? What just sucks the life out of you? What gets you down or makes you angry? Maybe there's some have to but don't want to's in there. Maybe some old habits that aren't really helping anymore. Maybe even things you believe that keep you down, like, I just can't get ahead, or the idea that good things are always followed by bad things. Whatever just leaves you depleted and dry, or takes away your motivation. Write it all down. Now, after you finish these lists, here's your challenge. Take one thing from the joy side and make a specific plan to add more of that into your life this week. So that could look like meeting up with a friend, carving out time for a hobby, or doing a fun activity with your kids. It could even mean putting something on your radar. You could write, notice beautiful moments on your bathroom mirror. Or each morning, wake up and say one thing you're thankful for. What will it be? What can you do to add happy, fun, or energy into your life this week? Write it down to keep yourself accountable. It can be something big and involved, or something really tiny. Just make it something you'll follow through with and not easily forget about. Now, let's look at the drain side of your list. From this, pick one thing to either delete from your life this week or move to the joy list. If it's something you want to just eliminate, how will you do that? Maybe you say no to an activity, delegate a task to someone else, or quit a habit. Find a way to take that off your list completely. And then if it's something you're going to change and move to your other list, what might that look like? Perhaps you discover a way to make chores really fun, or change an expectation that is making a relationship exhausting, or even creating a new association. This might be a silly example, but I used to hate peeling oranges. You know those little ones that are the perfect snack size for little kids? Just the thought of them asking me to open one for them made me cringe. I don't know what it was, maybe just getting my fingers all orangey. But one day, I was at a conference for foster parents, and they were talking about how the smell of oranges makes your brain happy. And whether that's true or not didn't really matter, because after that, every time I would peel an orange, I would smile and think of the joy that orange was bringing to my mind. And you know what? Now I not only don't mind peeling oranges, I actually like doing it. I breathe in the scent as I open it up and I feel good. And that's what building a new association looks like. Take something you don't like, something negative or exhausting, and make it positive. Turn it into something you love, something energizing, something happy. So what can you do this week to get rid of one of those draining things on your list, or transform it into something you can add to the other list instead? Write it down. Those 2 actions you are going to take this week, Tell someone about them. Or write it somewhere you'll see every day. And once you've successfully completed adding in something positive and subtracting something negative, you might want to try it again. Look for something else you can change to keep moving your life toward the things that are most important to you. Because that's really what all of this is about. Living a life doing the things you value the most. Being the person you want to be. You are building a foundation of parenthood centered on the relationships you have with your children. And when that connection is at your core, anything else you dream of can come from there. You can work with your kids to solve problems and help them develop behavioral, social, emotional, and mental skills that will serve them well. You can pursue what matters to you and instill those same values onto your children's blueprints. And you can parent in a way that feels good, both to you and to your kids. Your children are always learning, and so are you. Be the person you want them to be. Practice expressing your feelings and talking about what you need. Get really good at regulating and calming yourself down in heated moments before taking other action. Empathize with yourself and those around you. Change your blueprint. Release the thoughts and beliefs that are holding you back. And create new habits and ways of thinking that empower you. Make your life fun. Do the things that feel like play to you, and play with your kids. Do the things that make you happy, and the things that make your kids happy. Learn together. Grow together. Live together. I'm going to wrap this up here because I want you to spend the next 5 to 10 minutes at least answering this question for yourself. What do you want? What do you want your life to look like? What do you want your parenting to feel like? What do you want your relationships to be like? What do you want to do? What do you want to see? What do you want to feel? What do you want? Now, what if I told you you already have everything you need to get that? It is all within you. You have the power to change and direct your life. It's all a matter of priority. Decide what is most important to you and make that happen. You can do it. I believe in you. Thank you for joining me on this journey of transformation. You are putting in the work to build deep relationships with your kids, drawing blueprints that will give you and your children everything you need. And you are creating a life you love to live. So what's next for you? Where are you going from here? What do you want? I love to connect with interesting people who have big dreams and want support in making those dreams a reality. If that's you, send me an email and we'll talk. And then take this time to dream about what your life looks like when you are really loving to live it. What do you want?